Hi, can you tell me your name?
My name is Dean Keggy.
What is your definition of instructional supervision?
Well, my definition of instructional supervision is when a supervisor or administrator they use collaborative inquiry, they use reflection and dialogue with faculty and staff, and they convey that vision to the faculty and staff of what they want the school to look like, how they want teaching and learning to take place. And they're always exploring new ways to move the faculty and staff towards that vision of continuous improvement.
What should be the ultimate purpose of supervision?
The ultimate purpose of supervision is to facilitate an environment where teachers and administrators are constantly improving their craft, improving their teaching and instruction. And as Jim Collins said it in his book, Good to Great, you have to get the right people on the bus.
What do you think is the supervisory approach that works best for you?
The supervisory approach that works best for me is the democratic approach. That works best for me.
And then why do you feel that way?
I feel that way because I've been on both sides of the fence, so to speak. I've been in administration and also in the classroom. And so many times, teachers as a whole, when they have authoritative leadership that is constantly barking out orders, doesn't connect with faculty and staff, they kind of resent that. And I like the democratic approach because I want to hear teachers' input. I want them to have ownership in the school as well, and I feel that's important as administrators to listen to the faculty and staff.
So, what knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values are possessed by successful supervisors?
The knowledge and skills, I would say the knowledge is, of course, the supervisor administrator has to be familiar with the FDOE, Florida Department of Education. They've got to be familiar with the current standards for the FSA, Florida Standards and Assessments. They've got to be up to date on that type of knowledge, but it's also important with attitudes and skills is to have the ability to understand their staff, to be honest with the staff when it's important with the teacher, and to be shoot straight with them when things are going wrong, and to be honest with them, but at the same time motivate them, encourage them to do their best.
What do you think are the most important needs of teachers?
Some of the most important needs of teachers is to have a sense of community and to have a collective purpose where you're uniting not just the organizational goals, but the teacher's needs, and you're kind of bringing those two together so that they can have, both of those can have the impact on students. I think it's important.
What makes for positive relationships between supervisors and teachers?
Positive relationships between supervisors and teachers is focusing and developing strong positive relationship with not just individual teachers but the entire group. I think that's important. I think it's important to be a good listener as administrator and value what they're saying and value what they say on a day-to-day basis, but at the same time making the firm decisions that you need to do, but developing those skills and continue to work on those skills.
What types of activities should be part of instructional supervision?
Types of activities for instructional supervision would be always want to, of course, to improve the teaching and learning, engaging and also facilitating collaborative walkthroughs. You need to be willing to have activities that address diversity in the school and in the classroom. Inviting teachers kind of to work together and do what is called EE, empowerment evaluation. That will improve the communication, it will increase collaboration, and it'll foster colleagues working together.
What should be changed regarding the current practice of instructional supervision?
Well, there's such a focus on data-driven schools, and data is important. It's necessary. There's no doubt, but there needs to be focus on teaching and learning practices. So many times that takes a back seat, and you've got to focus on those teaching and learning practices. That's important. Administration should always be willing as well as to be open to an informal approach with teachers have different alternatives, 2 or 3 alternatives, and it's not specifically one way, but there's also alternatives that are used as well.
What should be the purpose of education?
The purpose of education is, of course, the basic knowledge and skills and cultural values of students. That's important. But you think about it, you think about the whole entire student and fostering and developing those students to reach their best potential, whether it be physical, emotional, cognitive, social, and moral development, making sure you're pushing the students to become the best that they can be.
Who should control the learning environment?
Well, I believe that the teacher should ultimately be responsible for controlling the learning environment. I think that's important and necessary. But at the same time, I really believe the student has to take responsibility for their own education. What they sow into their learning environment, what they sow into learning, is also what they will reap. So it's important for both sides, I would say. But ultimately, I think that it's important for the teacher to foster that.
Under what conditions is student learning most successful?
Student learning is successful when there's an emphasis on effective instruction and the teacher's ability, their own ability to use various styles, different styles, according to the school's learning goals and students' learning styles. They need to take that into account. But I really believe that it's a whole team effort. You have to focus on a healthy school would be focused on collaboration with colleagues, not just colleagues, but parents, community, and all stakeholders.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Kagi.
Thank you so much for the interview, Mrs. Haddock, and I look forward to hearing from you.